Alright guys, welcome back. First off, before we get started, we have a few announcements. First off, our fabulous Tish has finished so many architecture studies. And do you want to share about that real quick while I post your link in the chat? Yes, I told you, I was putting you on the spot. Yes. And in the chat pod, I have put her ArtStation link. And if this is after the fact, it's artstation.com/LetitiaLongbonds. Yes, please, she's driving me nuts. She has too much time on her hands. Said with love. And then, Chris, did you want to share your song too? Or your YouTube? Or your things? What is your YouTube? Because I only have half of you today since you didn't get any sleep last night because you were up all night songwriting. Producing. Yeah, there we go. Actually, I think. Oh, I have actually found it, so I'm gonna pop that in the chat pod too. Whoop whoop. Yes, commence stalking. But, yeah, and then also, things got really ramped up for me, so I'm going to struggle to get out another episode of the Studio Buddies. But I'm gonna do it. So that was on my time off, and I had to have had 0 time off this week. So, yeah. So Studio Buddies, follow that on Webtoons, all the good things. I think that's it. Actually, I just wanted to brag about you two for a bit. I'm so proud. But all right, I guess let's go ahead and get started. Alright, when last we left off on Stars of Sovereignty, episode 5, our party has selected a route to investigate the strange illness that nearly took Mev's life. They also had an unfortunate run-in with an Amarok, but they took care of the situation and saw to it that the Amarok was properly, put to rest and honored. And, upon gaining the map and gaining a route to continue their investigation, the Svorlin crafter of the region has graced this humble little village and definitely livened it up quite a bit. Nearly everyone is either in the market or has a market stall open. And for a small town that doesn't usually have open market stalls, it's kind of a big deal. And not only did he come into town, he came into town prepared with official orders to restructure the authority in town, kicking out very slimy previous alderman and replacing it with an unlikely Nefarian alderman. So we will definitely see how this village takes to having one that is not typically in a ruling position. When that happened, the crafter also took the liberty of magically rearranging the alderman's previous residence to fit the size of Nefarians to live in the house. And I think when last we left off, you guys were walking down to town. Dad, there's only so much when Johnny's is involved. But alright, so when the crafter arrived before he met you guys up at the Alderman's Ranch, he brought with him a whole caravan from Chenogawa. And that caravan, by this time, has made its way through town, and a lot of the merchants have set up their carts as traveling merchant abodes. And the entire town is just up and lively. It is super hard to walk, so as you guys approach the streets of Orkney, we have a couple of Xenori's fellow vanguard kind of trying to push a way through the crowd, especially trying to make space large enough for the crafter to get around. Which, luckily, he's pretty noticeable, so a lot of people are trying to get his attention and just trying to honor him and welcome him, and it's overall very high energy in the marketplace today. Okay, so as you guys, because I mean it's honestly not that far of a walk from the Alderman's Gate to Johnny's. You see the bathhouse lintets are nearly completely sold out, but they also have a little kitten bouncing between them on their little table. It's just a little black lintet child, black with brown spots and patches on his shoulders and on his face, but definitely still in his mewing phase. And so he mews at you as you guys walk by, and then he looks up at the crafter and just goes, meow, and hunkers down quite a bit. But yes, a lot of the local merchants at this point are seeing a lot of the merchants that have come to town, as well as a lot of the people in Chenogawa, as that is a big staple of crafters traveling. It's a huge marketplace day. And so there's a lot of people, just regular residents of Chenogawa that have come to see the markets of the local area. And so a lot of local shops are starting to actually run out of supply, and so you see some farmers already taking down their produce stand because there's nothing left to sell, and in their place another cart pulls up and another merchant takes their spot. do, for the most part, everyone seems pretty genuine, because it is a huge social dishonor to be found fraudulent in the presence of a crafter. So typically this is where the safest market days happen, because even the shadiest of the shady tend to lay down pretty low. But initially, most everyone seems pretty genuine. You do come across a couple of Jeptineers walking by that may appear to be in shady business. But pirates. Okay, I may have you roll random perceptions then at some point along the way. All right, so as you guys are reaching John Dee's, John Dee is just absolutely enamored with seeing the crafter again, and clearly also knows the crafter very well. This is John Dee we're talking about, but she's very flustered. And we see Vindairn kind of arguing with John Dee a little bit as they're trying to make a dining area in the town square to fit the crafter. They do have some Neferian-sized tables, but they're very difficult to put together and a little bit too small for this particular Neferian. So Vindairn is just like, he's like, I'm trying to do this, we're working with what we got. And the crafter just kind of looks at him and, just kind of just watches for a bit. Roll, Zenori, roll perception. Well, never freaking mind then. I'll just keep going. You do have a 14 passive perception, but you wouldn't know what to look for in this case. So, you missed out. You are currently distracted by another one of Vindairn's antics. But the do start to approach the situation, but the crafter just kind of holds you back. And you see why. Vindairn and John Dee are kind of going at it and arguing over these tables that are in front of them, that it's not going to be enough room for everyone. It's like they're chairs to him, and various other colorful statements. And as they're arguing, there's about 7 or 8 small children standing around in the circle, watching, just looking up in awe at the crafter. Because this is the first time in their very little lives that they have seen a crafter, let alone seen a Neferian that big, and they're just enthralled. And you see the crafters just kind of looking down at them and winking, and then looks back at John Dee and Vindairn. And after a little bit, he leans down and just gently touches John Dee's shoulder, and he's like, "My lady, if I may, do you mind if I take care of the situation?" And John Dee's like, "Well, I'd hate for you to have to," looking over at Vindairn, "but if you must." She's like, "You're supposed to be our guest, not the other way around." And she's like, "Well," or he's like, "Well, since you put it that way, you can go ahead and prepare me a nice big mug of ale in the meantime." And she's like, "Oh, I got you, honey." Then she looks over at you guys and she just kind of gives like a little energetic wave and runs off into her bar, where Lotu is feverishly picking up her slack. The crowd just kind of goes quiet as as this huge 10-foot man kneels down and just eye level with adults, but trying to be eye level with the kids. And, just not even paying attention to the tables. And Vendera kind of stands right next to Yuzunori, and he's just like, I tried. I thought we had a bigger table. It's like, I guess. He'll just be like, oh, stop. Fine. But the crafter, he's leaning down towards the kids, and he's like, do you guys know how magic works in this world? And they're just like wide-eyed, and he's like, come here. And so they all nervously start getting closer to him, and the parents are just kind of standing over, like, just in awe, and also, that it's such a wonderful crafter to have. As a couple of parents, you can tell, were very anxious at first, kind of signaling that crafters sometimes are very callous. And he's like, what I do looks like magic, doesn't it? And they're like, yeah. He's like, tell me something. Do you have someone or something that you love so much that in the whole realm that you just cannot get enough of loving them? And the kids are like, yeah, my mom, my dad, my sister, my my tactile, like, they're all just starting to chime up. And he's like, okay, that connection, that love, that's where the magic comes from. He's like, the strongest magic in the realm cannot compare to the connection that you have between you and the person you love. And they're just like, ooh. He puts his hand on the table nearby, and it's just essentially a wood slab with 2 benches alongside of it. And he's like, I want you guys to help me out with this one, okay? Because, the table, that's a lot of hard work. It takes a couple of people to carry a table, doesn't it? And they're like, yeah. It's like, if we're going to fix this table, we're going to need a couple of people, right? And they're like, yeah! And the bands, or the pack of bards, actually starts to chime in with a little bit of energetic jig. And everyone is just enthralled at this point. The crafter may or may not be trying to have a scene, but he definitely set one. And he's like, all right, put your hands on the table. And so all of the kids put their hands on the table, but there's a little girl that's just kind of like hanging back, and she's, very super nervous. And he looks over and he just kind of winks at her. He's like, okay, put your hands on the table. I want you to just close your eyes, and I want you to picture what you just told me. Picture that person, that your best friend, your animal, he's like, whatever it is you love so much, I want you to picture him. And I want you to hold that picture with your eyes shut. And they're like, and, so all of them just shut their eyes. And his hand starts to sparkle, and the table grows. And the kids start feeling it, and they're starting to freak out, and there's just this magical sight that this table is growing in front of them. Of course, they run back to their parents, and they're like, Mom, look what I did! But then the little girl, and the mom, who is also equally as shy, standing behind her and about to, come up and get her, and he's like, come here. Just come here. And the little girl nervously kind of edges forward. It's like, she kind of feels like she missed out, and he's like, you love your mom most of all, right? She's like, and so he just kind of feels her out a bit, and he's like, there's still something missing from this table. You don't know what I think it is? And she's like, what? It's like, your mother's love. And so he's instructs her to put her hand on the table. And once again, just glitters of gold and white flow through the table, and a bouquet of flowers just jumps out of the middle, as well as a small flower right by her hand. And she just lights up, and she looks down at the flower, and he picks off the flower off of the table, this flower that just randomly started growing out of the table, and wraps it around her wrist. As he wraps it around her wrist, it turns into a intricate gold-laced wristband with a adorned flower of the same shape. And then he reaches in his pocket, puts a couple of gold coins in her hand, and he's like, you go tell your mom you love her and give her a good day today. And she's like, okay. Runs off. And after that moment, John D comes out with a huge, pretty much a half a barrel of a mug, and Lotu is right behind her with a tray of mugs of ale for everyone that is currently there, which is you guys and Zunori's platoon and various other townsfolk. Yes. You too, Zunori. And Sindarid's like, Vindarid grabs his own, and he's like, that's not what the farmer said yesterday. Roll insight, Sword! Roll insight! You got a what? And you can see through Vindairn's antics a little bit. Just a little bit. You get a little bit of a glimpse of the dynamics between them. Yep. And everyone has pretty much you guys are welcome at the table with the crafter along with Commander Vard. There's also numerous other tables, excuse me, scattered about with the meat that John D has been cooking all day is starting to come to a completion. And that has overtaken the smell of her usual aromas of sweet buns. And this morning it was sweet buns mixed with the sweetness of fruits. And it is just this salty yet very savory, smoky smell coming from the center of town, where she has set up a fire pit for just specifically for the banquet meal. And so Ivania, you see that there is a couple of tactiles. You also see there's a medium-sized Perry-fur carcass just roasting over the fire. And then you see back in the kitchen, like, there's farmers that are very vigorously working away at cooking a whole bunch of sides and stuff. So it still feels like there's some time until the banquet meal. But definitely a healthy amount of energy surrounding you guys. His perception, he can hear, he can see, he can feel aether essence, but he can't feel textures. And when he uses detect magic, or any of his shadow abilities, he has an entirely different set of senses, but he cannot smell, taste, or feel texture. Yup, and you know what? Roll a perception really quick. Okay, you do see a couple of the kids that the crafter just stole their hearts, eyeballing you from the distance. Like, they're curious. You don't get, like a salty vibe from them at all, but they're definitely curious of sorts. Neferian? Oh, for Sorn. Oh! Yes, you may. Upon asking the question, Brayluk's like, ain't that just the weirdest thing? He's like, they're so close and so endowed with Aether. Anything that we try to do for them is paltry. It's like snacks. It's like, he's like, well, all they need to do is they need to just go into their element and recharge. And Braylon kind of cuts you up, and he's like, "No, emotions." He's like, I was not lying to those kids. The connection between two individuals is the most powerful source of Aether. That being said, him being so close to Aether, chatbot shenanigans. I'm so sorry. Here. So Braylon continues to explain that he's like, out of everyone at this table, other than myself, and you guys are joined by Zigza and the druid, who also pops up with Zigza. She pops up with Zigza, yeah. And she popped up with Zigza. And she's like, other than these guys... no, she just popped up with the druid. She just appeared. Roll a stealth check. You can! Yes, stealth. Oh no! All right, so you do manage to slink under Soren's cloak, and out of Zieg's attention, there's enough going on that you were able to slip under the radar, but still be present. But yes, so the crafter continues to say, he's like, out of every one of us that witnessed what I did with those kids, Sorn experienced it more deeper than any of us. Because he is that close to Aether emotions. He can feel just as well as we taste those sweet, sweet buns that I hope John D is coming out with soon. And she's like, I got you. She's like, do you know how much it takes to feed you? Like, she's like, are you aware of this? Okay. You know what? Yes. Roll. I want you to roll. I want to see how much you see. Yeah. Yeah, roll perception with your detect magic. Say what? What'd you say, Chris? Vicariously through companions. So the druid pats Sorn on the hand from on the table. She's like, at this point, she's sitting by the bouquet of flowers, which is about 3 times the size of her. And she just pats Sorn on the hand, and she's like, honey, you remember how I go into the forest? She's like, okay. I want you to do that, but I want you to look. I want you to go into the forest of people. Just look into the forest of people. Just feel the forest of people. And so as she's patting your hand and kind of coaching you through it, you look across the crowd, and being a little bit higher up on that bench gives you a little bit of an advantage. And you cast your detect magic in a different way. And what you end up seeing is this radiant map of light fall over the crowd. You see colors of blue and red and yellow and purple and pink, and just this rainbow that is shifting. And you see this couple going by, and they're kind of arguing, and you see colors of red and green. And they walk by, and the red and green disperses into this intricate network. But then you see the 2 bathhouse Lintettes with their little one. And it is this brilliant, bright pink. And almost like, and it glitters and sparks with a purple. It's got a depth to the color, but they are extremely bright. And this hotspot of this brightness is their little one that is bouncing between their shoulders as they're walking and playing with his parents' ears. And taking that in is definitely overstimulating enough. But the crafter just goes, yes. He's like, now you see it. Now you get it. The druid's like, you did good. Yeah. Oh, the druid's like, you did good. It's a mix of both. He experiences a multitude of intangible information, from the personalities and just the soul essence of an individual to their current emotional and mental states. With enough training, like, he can actually instantly read a person, but he sees their life force. And with that being said, he can also see, just little specks of life force as the plants that are scattered around, and the flowers in the table are living. They are not cut, and it is no, it is a living bouquet of flowers. Um, did he? Did he? Oh, but the but the crafter definitely picks up on that you're seeing it now, and he's like that right there, just, and I see it too. I see it also in inanimate things. He's like, each material. He's like, even in, he holds he grabs your hands from across the table and he holds them in his own, which it's just like this, like little pebbles in his hand. And he's like, even you're me. He's like, you're made of stars. He's like, even, and he kind of like fiddles with one of your fingers. He's like, if I were to break this, and he's like, I wouldn't want to hurt you, but if I were to break this into, various smaller pieces, I'm breaking connections between bits of the material. That connection is also aether. But when you have two complex beings connected through aether, connected to each other in ways words can't comprehend, that's the magic. And that's what magic should be tapped into. And then he looks over at Ziegza and he's like, and that's why I keep telling you, when you get angry, you're only holding yourself back. And Ziegza's like, and? Not a shy person, nope. So he sees this and he just kind of pulls away and does a little nod at you um and resumes attention away from you, Sword. Roll this time, now that you know what you're doing, roll an insight. So Moshi's colors, you see, Moshi with this vibrant dark green cloth around their hind quarters. With flecks of gold, but Moshi's aura, or colors, or aether that is flowing through him matches his eyes, matches that speck of gold eyes. But you also see underneath those vibrant and waving clouds of gold, flitters of blue and some black. You don't quite know what the colors mean, but you feel a little bit and you sense that there is more to Moshi than Moshi likes to let out. Like, Moshi is very guarded, but you sense it's for a reason that they hold very close to their heart. on the other side of the crafter, Mev and Caseon and I feel like a jerk all of a sudden. Hold on. Nuts. It's like, oh my gosh, she was like the first one. Zolvanar. Ah! You know, you made a character when you feel like a jerk to them. So Mev and Caseon, who is talking vigorously with the little spout of water on his shoulder, finally join you, and Caseon just seems flustered. Mev is excited to have Caseon around, but is also just very comfortable and content right next to Zolvanar. And Johnny has also brought baskets of sweet buns. The druid just kind of looks over for a second. It's like, you made a weird friend there. And she herself just starts and grabs one herself. And actually, that is a good time. Let's go ahead and take a bio break, because I definitely need more caffeine in my life today. So, yeah, more hot bean juice, yes! Hot bean juice sounds great. Twisted dark chocolate. Let's freaking do it. Alright, so, we'll be back at the top of the hour. Alright, guys, we are back and snacked up. But yes, when last we left off, uh, Bray Luke, I think, just got done embarrassing the heck out of Soren. And we are finally joined. Oh. And Mev and Zovanar are enjoying the vibrant atmosphere, but more so they've had a lot of weight taken off their shoulders. And with that being said, Captain Vard, who is sitting right next to you, Zunori, notices that, and he's just kind of like, I can't tell you how happy I am for those two. It's like, it's gonna be a hell of a lot of paperwork to get the new alderman in, but kind of happy to do it right now. He's like, yes. He's like, and I hope you don't mind, but I've given everyone else is on duty, so you can take the night off. Like, please, you've been working hardest out of all of us, especially compared to Vindare. He's like, alright, so if any alarms go off, you stay put, okay? You're like, that's an order. And then right there, Barry Luke is just like, yeah, I'd follow that. It's like, that's good advice. And you also see John D, just frivolously going back and forth. Like I said, it looks like it's about to be a little bit until the banquet. Casion has also started walking around the town. The water antiri that has been gracious to train him in running the village is walking him around and forcing him to talk to people. So he is off on an adventure right now. What do you guys want to do? You are on the brink of a feast. And on top of that, a feast that is at no cost to you, mind you. Russian all of a sudden. And Bray looks like, I second that. And he's like, it gets worse when you get into town. And he's like, up in Astromeria, there's a huge divide, and it is so hard to see. And, he's like, yeah, I was working with my kin up in Astromeria for a while, and it just got to be too much for me. And he's like, that's a lot of discrimination. The more people that seem to come together, it just gets worse. And he's like, but out here, people tend to stop giving so much of a damn. He's like, so it is kind of nice. But then you also get those weird, and he's like kind of like gesturing over the druid. He's like, then you get those weird outcasts that just like are not labeled by anything, and she swats him away. And Bray looks like, and that's where I had no problem. He's like, yes, we're true neutral. Yes, we're supposed to be politically neutral, but a jerk's a jerk. And trash needs to get taken out. Simple as that. All I did was I politely suggested to Lord Ray who can possibly take his place, and he simply gave me the green light. That's it. That's all that happened. I mean, well, to be fair, under the circumstances, roll a history check, both of you. This is giving me a moment to think, okay? And you, Chris? Oh. Alright, so, Chris, you've been away from it for quite a while, so you're not sure how much has changed. But Avanya, he mentions the name, and you recognize it as a very upper class neighborhood, and one that you are from an affluent adopted parentage, but not like that. That's like a whole nother level of aristocracy. No, we're not. It's on. What? No. Oh my god. Are we Are we being serious right now? Oh my god, it's a fucking... Duh! I hear you guys. Oh my god. Right? Oh, but all the cool parts. All of the cool parts. Man. What is going on? Okay, hold on. Properties, desktop audio. It should be default. Default desktop audio. Sorry, I recently updated to Windows 11, and all of my devices are everywhere right now. Because I wanted to update on my own terms. Yep. Oh, everything. He's like, guess we gotta start over. Why is it not? Okay. We were not recording on Zoom actively, no. Yeah, right. Oh my fucking god. It is to me! Right. Hold on. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. But I need to leave it on so I can see the stats. So apologies, guys. Just play some Wii Shop channel music. It'll be fine. Yeah, so desktop audio. It should be playing Zoom, right? Like, you'd think.
What are you doing?
Come on, it's the Wii Me channel thing.
Okay, I think I know what. I think I figured out what
Richelle
happened. For some reason, it was not reading my headphones as desktop audio.
No.
What an asshole.
Wait, so like what
annoying.
now?
So what that means is I'm gonna be on speakers.
But like, so that entire time, like, wait, like for the entire time we were all on mute?
The whole past hour and a half.
Oh,
What?
Most
Wait,
of the
how
cool
did
stuff
we
you
just
said the most of, so I mean.
me?
No, Richelle.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that's true. I guess that's true.
I was like, I didn't say anything cool.
Shit.
You could probably give a little quick recap of what we said. Nothing too
Yeah.
spectacular.
I mean, yeah. So far.
Wait. Can we actually hear her? Like, can?
Yes,
I am seeing both volumes being registered now.
Yeah, but like that line before, right? So like, is that true?
Yeah, I can hear all of us.
Okay.
Okay. This is where I need you guys in my life to hold me accountable to technical difficulties. But yeah, so far, we were catching up with Brayluke. Brayluke won the hearts of the local kids by having them help with making a table big enough for him to sit. And Chris is being bothered by the fly again in this.
Just realized my video was off.
But yes, so let's see. I'm trying to think of what you guys were saying that.
Here are my notes. At John Dee's trying to make a table for Brayluke so he can fit. Brayluke makes flowers come out of the table or something for a little girl. John Dee serves us drinks. Soren uses the Force and sees people's life force and emotions in swirls of colors. Apparently, we're all stardust. Brayluke is basically Tom Bombadil. He created life out of nothing. Is he a god? Moshi asks Soren what color he is, and Soren sees gold with bits of blue and black. Soren tells Moshi gold, but doesn't admit the black and blue. That's what I have. Those are my notes.
I was passing food to Moshi.
Oh yes, we're also Moshi. I forgot to say Moshi's hiding from Zixa in Soren's.
Because if you were with us last week, Moshi successfully stole a bag of holding. Specifically to hold sweet buns on the trip.
Speaking of, we should probably throw our camping gear into there.
Oh yeah, that's cool. We can do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that when
That's
we
a
get
good
back.
idea. Yeah.
All right,
Wait,
so we're
that
at
was
the
my notes.
feast.
I guess I missed some things, but
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, let's recap. Okay, we're at the feast. All around you is this bustling marketplace. You are seeing Jeptuniers, who, if you're new to the campaign, Jeptuniers are an aquatic-like race. Augmentations and physical enhancements are normal in this world if you have the money to pay a crafter. Crafters are few and far between, which is where Brayluke being in town has prompted this huge market day and huge banquet. And the town also suddenly got a new alderman because that alderman was a jerk. Did not treat his Nefarians very well.
All
Didn't get
right.
the extra boot. But while you guys are waiting for food and talking, oh yes, that's what we were doing. You guys were talking.
Chilling and eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zunori and Ivania.
Discussing origins. Small talk, basically.
Ivania has probably walked by and drooled over your neighborhood, but you guys are definitely not from the same area.
So I'll turn to Solon and I'll say, have you remembered much about where you came from, your past at all?
I'll shake my head no and just the past 2 months is all I can remember.
Wait, is that Moshi in your coat?
I'll pull the hood tighter.
Ah.
No. Am I in the hood? Like, am I like up here? Like,
I think like your head would be behind like my neck, like right there.
well, I'm like hiding behind your head.
Yeah. You're like,
okay.
because I feel like your body would be too big if you were like hiding up here completely. So you'd probably have to hide your body behind mine. And,
Okay.
It's as if Soren has this really huge wiggling hump. And because he's a
Mushi's
pile
smaller
of
than
floating
that.
rocks, it's normal.
Wait, how big is Storm? Like, how big are you?
I'm like tall,
6 foot,
probably taller
yeah.
than average. Yeah, 6 foot. But I float a little bit, so a little higher.
Okay.
I'm pretty I'm made of a bunch of rocks.
you're-
It's kind of
I
big.
I imagined you much bigger than that. Okay.
He's
No,
wider.
this is-
He's wider than I am. I'm still my character's 6 foot as well, but he's probably wider than I am.
I have more. I take up more space.
Yeah, okay.
And you are also capable of amorphously...
Yeah, I can kind of just do whatever I want with my body.
I mean,
like, take off your head and terrify townspeople.
Shoot my hands across square and I wonder what I could probably fit through anything. That'd be a cool trick. Make money on the road. Watch him fit through the hole.
Moshi gets a top hat out. Watch the magnificent sword.
So yeah, just the past 2 months. That's all I can remember.
All right.
Just kind of.
And I'll say to Moshi, to answer your question before, I wouldn't say I'm rich. Let's just say where I come from is rich.
Okay.
That's what you'd have Moshi believe, so he doesn't try to steal your stuff.
Liar.
I swear I'm not rich. I swear.
I would like usually check to see if someone's lying, but I don't think Sunori's lying.
Since we're talking back and forth, I'll just look over at Zenori and kind of ask, "How do you talk so easily?" Because I just don't get like my voice doesn't come naturally for me.
It helps me to practice.
Yeah, we've been kind of talking for the past 20, 30 years.
Stort's only been talking for 2 months. I mean, like...
I'm pretty good for 2 months.
You are very good for 2 months. Normally, Mytherians take about 5 annual cycles before they start vocalizing.
What about? I mean, do most nanos talk?
Say what?
Do most nanos talk?
Most? No, they do not. Which is where you are such an enigma. Not just because
Wow,
you are
I'm
a shadow
special.
Naniel, but also you have no wizard attached to you. You don't have a creator. You are simply a shadow Naniel.
with a shadowy
interacting
past.
with people.
The
And you can
party
talk.
just the party thinks I'm just an evil demon from hell.
Wow.
Evil
Got some
shy demon.
possessed rocks.
Especially with Moshi behind him, I'll be like,
Where'd that voice come from?
hello, I am Sword. I try
I
to
will,
eat sweet buns, but I fail.
I'll do my best to try to imitate like how everyone else is talking instead of like from my like way down low. I'll try to like push it up a little bit with whatever manual body parts I have.
Roll performance check.
Oh
As-
god.
Oh,
As
I'm
you're
excited
doing
for
that-
this.
As you're doing that, I'll say to Sorn, you push from down here. You don't speak from down here. You push from down here, and it comes from about here.
Okay, because mine comes from about like here. That was a nat 20.
Oh my
Mine-
god!
Minus 1, but nat 20.
Still.
Give it a shot.
Like this.
Whoa.
And I'll
Mochi gives a little jump, like, what the heck?
Vanya's like, whoa, I didn't know you could do that.
Hold on.
What?
A couple of ladies walking by when you did that were just like, oh.
Whoa. Do I notice that? Can I make like perception or something?
roll an active perception.
That was a 15 plus 5. That's 20. Oh no,
God,
that's
what?
plus 4. Wait. Hold on.
Nat 20 is only if you roll a 20. But
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
have to add a modifier to get
Perception?
to 20, that
Yeah.
doesn't count as an
That's plus 4, so 19.
You do notice it.
I'll like sink down a little bit. I'll like look.
Mochi
I'll look
takes
back
the
over at
hood
him.
off, like, what? What did you just do?
I'm gonna nudge him with my elbow and be like, captured more than our attention.
I don't know how attractive a floating pile of rocks is.
Well, you definitely turned some heads when you spoke, so.
What does that mean? To
Only
Zenori.
time will tell.
Okay, I will. I'll go back into myself. Just kind of shut up for a little bit. With all the looks that I just got,
Oh no!
Okay, if I just like, no, don't worry, that just means you're interesting. That's good. It's a good thing.
And Bray Lucas, the table is rumbling a little bit as Bray Luke is chuckling to himself over it, and Zigza and the druid are just, at this point, dying.
Oh no.
Zigza's face first, just laughing on the table, and the druid's like trying to choke out some sweet bun.
I am more self-conscious now. I will
Oh no!
condense my rocks down so I can be a little smaller.
Soren keeps
just see
getting
Moshi
smaller,
kind of
but his
peek up
hump
from
gets
behind.
bigger.
I'll put the hood back up.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn to Bray Look and go to a bit more serious note, and I'll say to him, so I have to ask on a more serious note, do you know much about the situation that's happening? This sickness and whatever it's caused by.
Oh, Debbie Downer, we're having fun here. Jeez.
Dynamics, man.
Brayluke's gonna just kind of lean down in close to you, and he's actually gonna kind of nudge the commander out of the way, so the commander's gonna go around to the other side of the table. And he's like, I just got into town. I haven't been, I've been hearing bits and pieces, but I am having a hard time getting a grasp. What have you guys found down here?
Well, from what I can piece together from everybody is that mysterious sickness started popping up, one of fatigue, and mysteriously over a short period of time, people die, and black veins would start to show up in the course of their death. And we went to seek the druid. Is the druid with us, actually, by the way?
She
She's
is.
around, right?
The druid, Zigza, and Mev are all at the table with you.
I'll motion to her and I'll say, we sought out her help, which we found her, and she was honing in on it in her nature magics, trying to figure it out for herself.
Tree whisperer.
Yeah.
Does Ivania hear this part of the conversation?
I think we're all hearing it.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
I'm speaking quite loud about it. I'm not like trying to hide it or anything. I'm trying to like.
Ivania's like
Trying to
nodding in very
condense
much
our
agreement.
Yeah. And from what my compatriots and I have figured is that there's a higher power at work. Not sure that it's localized. I'm wondering if it's actually spread. You haven't seen anything in Chanagawa? Strange deaths of the sort?
We've had a couple of strange deaths up there, but I think I sense what you mean. And he looks over at the druid and she just kind of nods. And he's like, it feels bigger. It doesn't, he's like, what I saw, they lost their aether. It was just drained out. But
That's
there
what we've
was
been
no
experiencing here.
apparent cause. There was no apparent source. The druid chimes in and she's like, the forest shows me nothing. It's there, it's dark, it's hungry, but it's nothing. And Brayluke's like, the only thing of that size, of that, for the forest, even to mention it. But he's like, the only thing capable of affecting Aether at such distances that I am personally aware of is just world builders.
World builders.
So,
I'm familiar, but aren't they predisposed?
they're around still. They helped a lot, and a few of them that are around are just resting at this point because it takes a lot to move an entire realm, let alone 3. And after they were moved, the world builders repaired the place, and a lot of them just went to sleep. But they're the only ones that can affect at this scale so strangely.
Maybe I'll have to pray to Nersil and see if I can get some answers through prayer.
And he's like, oh goodness. It's like, he visited me over in the Spore Isles. He's a good one. He's a good one, but he's like, we do have a world builder. We actually have 2 in the Dark Realm.
And we can visit them?
Say that again?
And we can visit them?
He's like, knowing they're there and even comprehending that they're there and interacting with them, totally different subjects.
Of course.
He's like, one does not simply walk up to a world builder. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Excellent. Yes, it's a strange circumstance that we're all a part of.
At
And
this
as
point,
a-
I'll chime in. But would it be possible? Could we try?
Brayluke's like, yeah.
I can't take him seriously with that voice. Sorry.
Bring the old sword back. No.
Part of me is like, bring the old sword back.
another.
Don't worry, it'll go back and forth.
Weirding Moshi out. He's like, I don't understand.
Lil 2 was kind of flitting around the table refilling drinks, and you talked, and she's like, oh, goodness.
Why is it attracted to this new Soren voice? She's so wheeze.
Oh my goodness. So he's like, well, our world builder, the first trouble you're going to have is the immense. It's essentially on a different island in the world, in the realm. One, if you can make it across the chasm, and you make it down to where the world builder is, maybe then. And he's like, but if all this is going on, it's hard to say what the world builder's state of mind even is. He's like, actually, now that we're talking about it, this is deeply disturbing. And you do see the druid, and she's just like kind of like staring like straight down, and just she has like a half-eaten sweet bun in both of her hands. It takes both of her hands, and she's just like frozen. And Zigza also is greatly perturbed at the mention of a world builder. And Commander Bard is also like, huh? Like, we didn't need anything else.
I really am a Debbie Downer. Oh.
Let's not ruin the feast.
As this is like happening, I'll like scrunch up a bit of bread in my hand, and I'll throw it at Moshi.
I'm sorry, what are you trying at me?
I'm trying to throw a bit of bread, underneath the cloak, like in the little spot that you're hanging out of.
Oh yeah, you just see a little paw, like. Everyone knows I'm in here, so maybe I should just come out.
I will return to my normal size and kind of join the group. Try not to be so antisocial.
I'll come back out of the cloak since everybody kind of like obviously knows where I am. So. These doesn't really seem to care that much, so
I'll help Moshi down and set him on the bench next to me.
So Zigza, seeing you finally crawl out,
no,
just kind of looks at you and just like a cordial nod, and then goes back to the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can't pretend I'm eating anymore.
Yeah, you'll just have to go back to like pressing it against your face.
What a shame.
I'll look across the table. And, oh, that looks good, and I'll pick it up and I'll just. Yeah, oh, delicious.
Oh no.
Wait, you said like everything has a colorful aura or whatever? Like, do the sweet buns have an aura?
Pink.
Can it be pink? That'd be awesome. Like hot pink.
The aura of the sweet buns, they were definitely made with love, appear a soft pink glow.
Oh, so pink is love.
I've been guessing at what the colors mean. All right.
Write down a little cheat sheet.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing.
Actually, I sent something to you, Richelle, in my whisper to do with the colors. Might help you.
Oh, of course. And then we will figure that out too. The other thing.
Okay.
I got you. At some point.
I guess now that I don't have to hide Moshi anymore, I'll pull off the cloak and sit it in my lap, and I'll just place both my hands on it and focus on it. If I can try to identify it since I can't eat, I've got to do something. Kind of just focusing on it while we're sitting here and everyone's talking.
Well, I mean, Moshi can help you read if you want to read.
It's fine. I'll do that at night or something.
Okay,
I'll
that
just
is okay. So
kinda
you
feel
were
out the energy.
concentrating on identifying the small
Cloak,
source
yeah.
of magic in your cloak. Okay.
Yeah. Do we have any? Are there any interesting people here that we might need to get some info from before we head out? Because that should be coming up soon. We should be getting going.
It's
Oh
true.
yeah, we'll have to talk to, besides the stuff that we're already being talked about. I'll turn back to the big guy and ask him, is there anything we should know about on the way to Chinagawa? And actually to Lochholm via Chinagawa would be the
Right.
Lochholm.
Yeah.
Mm,
Is that where we're going? I can't keep these places straight. I'm sorry.
Shinagawa,
Correct.
then Bochum.
Yep. You guys have to get over the river, and the two locations of getting over the river are either way to the north or way to the south. So you had a choice between Chinagawa being a trade town and downriver from major cities, which is where all the Jeptineers are, because it's a water town, and the swamps of the south. So.
Oh yeah, we said no to the swamps, right? Remember that?
Protect your fur.
Okay, so we're going through Chinagawa to go to whatever that other.
Yep,
place
you guys
is,
are
right?
going to go up to Chinagawa, get across the river, and then go down to Ulholm. Correct. And Ivania has a hand-copied map.
Mm-hmm.
Hand-copied. Control-C copied.
Hey, I spent a long night on that.
But, so he kind of ponders it for a bit. And actually, hold on. While he's pondering, give me a second. Oh, okay, I got it. He's like, well, Hanaya will get you up to Chinagawa, without issue. He's like, it's still a couple of days travel, but she'll get you up to Chinagawa without issue. I mean, you may have a couple of, shady passerbys. Every once in a while, there are attacks along the road, but for the most part, it's a peaceful road. It's when you get across the river, that's where things really get dense. And the druid just kind of, she comes out of her, phasement with the mention of the world meddler, and she just kind of giggles. She's like, I see what you did there. He's like, the forest gets really dense, and you step into Eventide territory. Which often, if you're just respectful of your surroundings and you aren't trying to burn down the forest, usually you can get by just fine.
Hearing he was talking to the crafter, right? It was the crafter that was giving us this info. Hearing the crafter talk about the shady people, I will look over at Moshi and, is being shady a bad thing? As a person made out of shadow, I'm very concerned.
Literally,
And
no.
Okay.
Theoretically, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the crafter just, kind of rests on that. And he's like, once you get through the Eventide Forest, he's like, it's been a while since I've been down to Ulholm. He's like, it's not really it's kind of outside of my territory. But last I saw, it was hurting pretty badly. Last I heard, it was hurting pretty badly, and just economically, just hasn't been in good health from what I've been hearing in whispers in towns.
I'm sorry, who are we talking to? My sister texted me,
talking to
and
the
now I'm
crafter.
like super distracted. Okay, we're talking.
You were talking about Olholm, right?
So
Correct.
Olholm itself as the town isn't doing so hot.
Oh, we're talking to Brayluke? Is that who we're talking
Yeah.
to? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention. I apologize. How do you spell Olholm?
Ulhoom.
Wait. Say that again.
Hold on, I'll type it to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I have to like see these things because it helps me remember if I see it.
But yeah,
Okay.
we were saying that Olholm itself as the town is not doing so hot. Is that what was like just communicated?
It's like, yeah, they have, in the past they've had, out there is much like this area where it has lots of lands that can be harvested, and it did harvest quite a bit of fibers made for cloth and stuff like that. But less and less exports have been coming out of it, as well as a lot of people have been moving away. And no, I haven't. He's like, honestly, he's like, it wasn't really on my radar. Like I said, it's not in my jurisdiction, but it's just, so when you mention it, it's just a couple of things that I've been hearing, whispers in the wind, as it were.
And it's in that direction that we had the darkness coming from, right? Where we're feeling the aether go to.
Correct.
Also, on a separate note, Braylook, do you know anyone by the name of Tugan?
His brow furrows, and he's like, you know what? Ivania, roll a investigation check.
Oh, that was bad. That was a 4.
Okay, you're
I'm
right.
not gonna like anything.
Brayluke's brow furrows. He's like, I can't say that does ring the bell, but kind of glad it doesn't. Like, no. He's like, I apologize, little one.
Ivania's like, oh, it's okay. She's clearly frustrated that someone of such knowledgeable stature does not know know about this person. She was hoping that she would not say stature, but like of such knowledge, very knowledgeable person. Oh goddamn, I'm so bad with this word. But yes. She's frustrated.
You are perturbed by his answer, but not for the reasons that you were hoping for.
Yeah.
Sensing the frustration, I'll look at Ivania and ask, who is that?
This person is the key to my past, so to speak. Ivania says that, well, she was clearly not a native technically to the light realm because she's clearly Mytharian, but her parents are very adoptive, so that's how she ended up growing up there. But this Tugan person might know might be a connection to my original parents, the ones that gave birth to me and such.
Wait,
how did you hear about this Tugan name?
This was from Ivania's adoptive parents. The only name that Ivania's adoptive parents know about when they quote unquote acquired or adopted Ivania.
Oh, okay. So it's just like a name that you've heard in your past. Yeah. Okay.
Roll a perception check really quick, Ivania.
All right. Perception. Okay, this one's better. That's 20.
Okay, Ivania, as you're kind of, talking about it a bit, Commander Vard puts his head down and he's just like, why do you want to know that name? I think you just said that, but hold on, re-say it for me real quick.
Well, yeah, this person is, I'm not exactly sure what this person has to do with my parents, my biological parents, but this is the only name that my adoptive parents know when they adopted me. So I am just hoping that Tugan here has some information as to the whereabouts of my biological family.
Why would you want to find him?
Well,
Commander, hearing this, Commander Bird kind of has the same look. He's like, doesn't sound like you want to find your real parents, but it's fine. But he's he's clearly agitated at Tugan's name, and he's like, he's not one that you want to meet. He is known for child trafficking.
Oh, geez. Wow. Damn.
see, that's kind of exactly why I had to find this person, because I'm not entirely sure that my parents actually wanted to give me up.
Then who were your adoptive parents? Oh! Oh my.
Drop the bomb.
And Commander Bird is
They
just
were
like,
in on it.
he's like, I'm sorry. I felt like I had to tell you. He's like, you're just so small and innocent all the time. He's like, you go out and you hunt, chinky birds. Like, he's like, yes, he's a child trafficker. I have had to guard him on multiple arrests. I don't know where he went after I was stationed here. He hasn't come through town at all. I did hear something about him being moved down to Ulham, but I didn't know if that was he ran away or, if he's on the run or if he actually just legally moved there, essentially. He's like, but I don't have any updated information for you. I apologize. Just please promise me that you're going to be careful when you start using his name around, especially in places like Shinagawa.
I'm gonna elbow Soren and be like, what's his aura? What's her aura now? What color is it?
I
Soren,
guess
roll
I'll try
perception.
to focus on Ivania, yeah.
What's her aura?
That's an 8.
Oh.
It's hard.
I can't roll well all the time.
Wait, can I help him at all? Like advantage?
Nah, I think this is my thing. Are you made out of aether? Yeah, so I have no idea.
At this point, I don't think it'll be too hard for you to read my emotions, because Svivania is very, she has this very frustrated, conflicted look. There's a bunch of emotions going on.
Yeah, it's probably just a rainbow.
But 8 is really bad.
Yeah.
It probably won't be a rainbow because all the colors are mixing together, so it's like some muddy.
It's just brown.
It's just brown. Just this brown.
It's called a shitty mood.
I think I'm on this shit.
So
this brown purple, a brown nebula, like.
The comedy's been very good this episode.
Yeah, unfortunately, no one can hear it.
oh my god, the struggle. So luckily John D comes to the rescue and she kind of hits the table real quick, but then she sees you, Ivania. She does see you, and she just very compassionately, looks over at you and it's just like, okay, she takes note.
John D.
But she's like,
wait. You know what would really help Avanya right now?
Candy's like, I'm
If
listening.
she knew your sweet bun recipe.
I saw it coming.
So like, I mean,
Roll.
Avanya just realized that she was stolen as a child and sold.
So I will
Roll
karate chop Moshi's tail.
Roll a persuasion check, Moshi.
Ooh, yeah, okay. That's a nat 1.
Oh shit.
Johnny sees right through your shit, and she's just like, nice try, Moshi. I will make her all the sweet buns she wants, but you're not getting my recipe.
The
And now we're
ever-elusive.
Actually really did. Moshi actually really did just want to somehow share with Avanya. Man.
Rough.
That's what I get for trying to help.
How far away is Avanya from me and Moshi?
Avanya is across the table about 4 feet.
All right, I'll mage hand and pat Avanya on the back.
Vanya is very grateful for very, very compassionate friends and landlord.
And Johnny's like, or I'm sorry, finish, continue.
Yeah, she's well, thank you guys, everyone. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Even though we just met about a week ago.
I think it's about 6 days, but yeah.
Yeah, about a week.
We're on day 6, so yeah.
So Johnny's like, well, I can't do anything about your situation, but hopefully this will do the trick. And she kind of claps her hands, and you see Lotu and a handful of just general strong hands and useful hands from around the village. You guys recognize the faces. Start bringing platters of meat and food all across the table. And you didn't notice this before, but the bards were eating their meals during the conversation, which is probably where it got even extra awkward and quiet. But now the bard band is continuing and, trying to set a relaxing, upbeat tone to the banquet that has now officially started. And a huge tactile is plated and sat right in front of the Nefarians, like just for them. Like they got the whole thing themselves, pretty much.
Jealous.
That's it. Gigantic plates of food.
Yep, pretty much. And then you all have your each individual plates, and you guys can just have at it. And the druid, who hasn't moved from her spot next to the bouquet, she's just like, Johnny, you are not going to make me eat anything else. And she's just like, she's like, if I eat another sweet bun, you're going to be stuck with me for the night, because I'm not going to be able to go home. Johnny just kind of like picks her up, and she's like, I know, come on.
I will fill up my plate and then just push it over next to Moshi. Moshi gets 2.
Double service.
There we go. And I'm back to looking at my cloak. Food? Don't care. No.
You could analyze the food for, aura or color.
Poisoned.
I'll be like, this one tastes like yellow.
Wait. I have an idea. What if we got Sword to analyze the contents of the sweet bun?
Oh, Sword!
I don't think that would work. That is a long shot.
Damn it! I mean, just Sword, it's all just pink.
That's even more of a long shot than just asking her.
Man, Moshi had some hope there for a moment.
What's the color for dumb? Because I think Avanya's just radiating it right now.
Right, and like speaking in game, you would have better luck trying to ask the crafter, but the crafter loves Johnny. So
I'm gonna ask.
Hey, he seemed to like me,
Luke.
kind of. Like,
So Bray Luke, you can like create flowers out of nothing.
it looks like
Can you make sweet buns out of nothing? Is that a thing?
Bray Luke, who is just chomping on a giant leg of tactile, and he's got, bits of meat and stuff all in his beard. You wonder how much he's saving for later, but he's just, chomping away, and he stopped for a minute, and he's like, honey, there is only one person that can ever make sweet buns like that, and that is John D. He's like, I have tried. I have tried. Trust me. I have tried. I don't know what she does. He's like, but...
Oh, so you can only make plants. All right, that's cool.
So
Bray
Johnny
looks like...
is the sweet bun artificer.
so,
Bray
Sword
Luke
just had
is
a really-
visibly offended by that, but he just kind of marks it off and goes back to eating.
Sword just had a really
Yeah.
stupid idea.
I answered that way to make him angry so he might correct me or something.
I'm gonna reach over and pick up a piece of bread and like hold it up in front of me, and I'm gonna see if I can grab its shadow and absorb it.
Soren, what are you doing? Soren, what are you doing?
And I do it. I agree. You just see me grabbing at it.
What?
I wanted to succeed so bad. I want this to succeed so bad.
All right, roll.
Roll what? Just
I don't know anything.
Just straight up. Okay, straight up D20. Oh, that's a 3.
Mission failed.
I just see Soren like staring at the bread with like all of his.
So from your guys' perspective, Soren, who usually when he is holding food and either not passing it to Moshe, he's generally just beating it against his face. Now he's just like kind of waving it in the air, and just like a lintet, he's like, wait a second, almost got it, and he's just like kind of clawing at the table.
Nothing, don't ask. And I'll put the bread back down.
On that note, Ivania, despite everything, raises a toast, saying, well, to our upcoming huge journey, and safe travels to all of us.
And right there, Bray Luke's, he kind of slams his giant mug, and he's like, and might I also add, also a toast to our new alderman. And Cassian, who has returned at this point and is just like visibly flustered from having to socialize. It's just like, oh no. And his little water friend is just like kind of patting him on the neck. Like that's all she can reach. It's just the neck. Like it's okay.
I don't know if Vanya is the only one doing this, but she's cheering. She's like, yeah!
Vanya is not the only one. Roll perception with advantage.
Oh, that is a 24.
Since Bray Luke was the one that kind of started off this whole toast, it sets off a chain reaction. And you guys are sitting higher up than the average tables that are out. So you kind of see over everyone, and it's a standing ovation for Cassian. Like at this point, because he spent time in Chenogawa, he spent time in Orkney, and, he's kind of settled in Orkney. So it became a really big deal that he was named alderman. And everyone is excited to have him over the land, especially over the previous one in office.
I have no clue what a toast is, but I'm just going to copy whatever Zenori does.
Moshi grabs a piece of bread and goes, "Here's Soren, a toast."
You were such a bad influence.
No.
I take the bread and I will conjure some eldritch energy in my hand and hold it over to scorch it a little bit, and I'll hand it back. Toast.
Dark toast.
A darkness toast.
Shadow toast.
Zunori, roll perception.
Ooh. That's a good one. Hang on. 22.
Ooh. I'm gonna kill everyone here. Let's take a break.
Oh, no.
We're gonna take a quick bio break, quick bonus break, quick
The
sanity
banquet
break.
Becomes
is
a very
actually
big
the Red
fight.
Wedding.
Red
And we
Wedding.
all die.
Oh,
Everyone's
no.
poisoned.
But yeah, super quick break. Like maybe give about 5 minutes, and because I realized we were coming up on break time. So yeah, just a 5-minute break. We will be right back and figure out what was Zunori just noticed. Oh. All right, is everyone still alive after such tension? I thought that was kind of weird
I'm
to
not.
just like break right after a perception check.
It's good.
So you notice it, and Brayluke kind of bends down close to you, and he's like, with all this going on with the aldermen, I had to talk to Lord Shallenray. And he's like, in case you're not updating me what happened, I figured you would enjoy a visitor for the night. And I needed someone to sign from the Lord's estate. And you see poking out from the crowd the face of your wife. So it is up to you if you want to fade to black or wait till later. Or what do you want to do?
Of course, I'm gonna.
immediately. Of course, I'll embrace her. I'll run up to her and pick her up in the air and twirl her around and all that stuff. What are you doing here? This is a surprise. Too much to handle.
And she's like, well, from your ladder, from what I've been hearing, you've been going through some serious hell.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
She's like, so, for diplomatic reasons, I was able to get a quick escort up here to also welcome Brayluke on behalf of the Lord for his travels. And Brayluke just kind of nods, my lady.
Fancy. So where are the children?
And she's like, oh, I kept them back at home, and you do see oh gosh, I am rude to my characters today. Mine Stable Master, Histian. You do see Histian finally walking up, and he's like, yep, she rode fast and safely by herself. She had a good mount.
I'm glad.
And she's like, I hope you don't mind. And she, she's just kind of like, I really didn't, especially with you having so much going on. But she's like, I figured you needed a visit.
It's a welcome. It's a welcome I needed. There's been a lot happening lately.
And Vindarn and Hada are walking by, but they don't engage you. They're just like, oh. And even Commander Bard is just like, him and Brayluke are just like, this is what makes our jobs worth it. And Brayluke's like, yep, yes it does.
I'm gonna walk Isuin, which is her name, and I'll walk him up to everybody and I'll say, Isuin, this is Sorn, this is Ivania, and this is Moshi. These are the ragtag group I told you about.
You were not kidding. She's particularly looking at Sorn, and she's like, she's like, forgive me on my ignorance. What exactly are you?
Voice, do the voice.
I will. I'll take Moshi's advice, and
I have never seen one of your kind before. And she kind of looks over at you, Zenari. She's like, yeah, there was the water ones that came through. And there was a couple of purifiers, but that was it.
Yes. What's oddly enough is Sorn doesn't have a keeper. He seems
Yeah, he does.
Moshi.
Well, an adoptive keeper.
Someone just kind
How
of
much
holds
magic
out her
do you
hand to you, Moshi, and she's like, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. She's like, adoptive as you may be, it must be a lot to have an annual under your care.
No, it's nothing. Nice to meet your acquaintance.
I think he's more under my care. Oh,
He's probably right.
And she's like, and right there she just kind of jokes and she's like, our oldest was just saying the same thing.
Uh,
Have you had a sweet bun?
She's like, I would, and she's like, and right there John D comes up and you hear her squeal.
She's never had a sweet bun. Johnny,
She has had a sweet bun. That's the thing. And that is where you see Isoen, who's just normally just very formal and well put together. And right now she is wearing like a very soft velvet fine cloak, as well as just very fine travel attire. The moment Johnny pops up and squeals, she squeals too. There's a little sisterhood going on there.
Is there like a, what you call it? Is there some kind of greetings that the more noble or like the more upper class people use?
Roll a history check. You've been traveling for a while.
how do you, Zunori? How do you? I'm so sorry. I keep asking to spell things. How do you spell your wife's name?
Isowen.
I got an 8.
Okay.
So you vaguely, remember various assortments of bowing and nodding and, the occasional, polite handshake, and delicate handshakes. That's it. You don't remember exactly who or stations or anything like that.
I see. Well, Ivania does her best at a greeting and invite and says, "You should totally come and join us at the feast. We just started eating, but you should totally join us."
And Yusoen's like, that would be great because I am starving. And Zunori, you are well aware, she must have rode from early in the morning to come here and be here at this time. And
I'll pull up a chair for her, do the formal thing. My lady.
Oh.
And Bray Luke is just like kind of eyeballing you, like, it's like, you got a good one.
I'll give you my wig back.
Did I see that? Did I see the wink?
Roll a perception check.
Oh my God.
23.
Man.
My good roll is back.
Soren's gonna be winking at everyone now.
You did see the wink.
I very obviously winked back at Zunori.
Be your new voice when you wink,
and
Soren.
I'll nudge Boshi. What does that mean?
Oh, it means hi.
After you did it.
Okay, and then I'll add Boshi.
That's too good.
My God,
I'm gonna
it's
be
just
greeting
like-
people winking at them. I'm gonna make them really
Oh, that's so good.
Charles' face.
I just Ivania just doesn't know what to say. Like, that's definitely not how. But like, how do you explain the wink? She doesn't know how to explain the wink.
How do you explain the wink? We need a
No,
quote.
she's-
We need a quote of the day thing in the Discord.
We really
How do
do.
you explain the wink?
How do you explain the wink?
Oh, my fearless players. What do you guys want to do now?
Oh, okay, you go.
I really have nothing to do, so I am going to just. I'm just gonna. How long have I been focusing on my cloak?
There's been periods of discussion
focusing,
and rest. You kind of have a feel for it. You know what? I'm gonna make you roll for it. Roll for it.
Arcana.
What's
Yes.
he rolling for?
Okay.
Sorry.
Nah. Not 20.
Wow.
Dude, what?
Nice.
All right.
I'm gonna need to check the weight on this die because it's rolling really well today. It's my only d20 though, so.
Okay, so I want you as Sorn to pick up your cloak like this, and you're just gonna like eyeball it because you're also currently wearing it somewhat, right?
Yeah.
I want you to take your hand and produce some of your shadow magic, and touch the cloak.
All right, I'll grab it with my shadows.
And the cloak immediately turns into shadows,
Ooh.
hiding everything underneath you. Just this black smoke.
So, if I put it on, right, am I just all shadow now?
Right now, you are just a giant mass of shadow cloud.
I like this.
Oh, she sees this, right? I mean,
like
it's
this.
like happening.
Everyone
right?
sees
It's
it.
Okay.
It's obvious.
I was like, this is impossible to miss.
Oh no, I'm gonna draw so much attention.
Every eye just goes whoa.
I'm like mid bite going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
Bray Luke chokes for a second, and he's like,
what?
of all the things that you and your strangeness could have found, you found a shadow cloak. Activated by shadow magic.
Shadow. It's crazy that I just I freaked out the crafter of all people. All right, I will take it off and put it in my.
How does he turn it off? Is
He
it
turns
just-
it off by essentially deactivating
Yeah, once I
the
just
shadow
kinda-
magic he's
yeah.
using. So
Oh.
you don't know how long that effect can last. Your perception of it is that it can last as long as you can actively concentrate on it. And so essentially as long as you can last, but it requires that active concentration to activate.
Okay.
But the thing that you did notice was it is opaquely shadow. But it does hide, like you did not see your any of the rocks in your arm
Yeah.
or any of the rocks in your hands when it activated. It
Okay.
opaquely hides whatever is underneath it.
Perfect.
Like, how turbulent is the shadow? Is it just like a very still kind of cloud, or is it more like a swirliness?
When he moves, it kind of wisps out like
Okay.
steam, like a rolling fog.
Mhm.
When he is still, it flows down, but only gets a certain distance before it actually dissipates. So it's not like there's a cloud randomly floating away, a black cloud randomly floating away. It all stays generally attached, but it is in constant, gentle motion.
Okay.
All right. Cool. I put that away and
Just nonchalantly put it away.
just kind of look around at everyone.
Everyone
Awkward
looking at
way.
I did nothing.
So what's everybody looking at?
Oh my god, I forgot for a second he can talk normally.
Yeah, now
I was like, are you
everyone's
asking us
really
with
staring
Dad?
at you.
Is there a problem?
Everyone's like, no,
Sorry.
no problem.
It's just so odd.
Are you okay, Soren? Like, a lot's been happening with you, like, in the last hour.
He just scared the shit out of me.
Oh, hello.
He poked me in the side.
Oh,
Dad.
cute.
Dad. Pay attention
was-
to
Oh
the
His
my
personal
god,
shadow.
he's
He was
so
batting at my-
adorable.
What a
He's your
good cat.
personal
A little
shadow.
Moshi.
Aw.
Okay, what were you saying, Giovanni?
Saying like, what's happening with you? Are you okay? And a lot's been going on in the last hour, especially with you.
Especially
I'll
with
just-
you, Ivania. God.
I don't
Have
do
we not
anything.
forgotten she was kidnapped and sold to a child trafficker or whatever?
What the hell?
Come on, man. Whoa.
And a pretty heavy dinner.
Yeah,
Or wait,
wow.
Lunch?
Oh, yeah. Wait, what is this?
supper. Midday,
It's a
very
barbecue.
large meal, followed
barbecue. There we
by
go.
It's a feast. It needs no hour.
It's a
exactly. And
Tailgate.
odds are, with the main feast
Moshi looks at his
happening
tail.
now, there will be snacking and eating throughout the whole evening. Just little bits here and there, followed by lots of drinking, probably dancing, and various other events. You guys also currently see there are performers around. And, you see a couple Jeptuniers tossing water magically back and forth, and other cool performances in honor of the crafter.
Are we drinking alcohol?
Sorry. Moshi is. I don't know about you.
You guys all accepted ale from Johnny.
Conscious of the third beer.
Speaking of, I splashed some on my face.
So you
Now you really look
smell
the part.
drunk.
Can I roll to see how drunk I am at this moment?
Oh my god.
You
That'd be
may.
Constitution, right?
Yeah. All right. Constitution roll. Oh, that's a 6.
Vanya's wasted.
Oh my god.
Oh god, I might go wasted.
I mean, she's really small. So
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. Yes. You're way super small and not really thinking about it. Johnny handed you a regular sized glass filled with her best ale. And you are really, really tiny, and you drank the whole thing. So you are
Ivania just
definitely
breaks out
drunk.
and just sobs about her heritage.
I never knew my father.
Moshi's like, that's
Oh no.
Someone's like,
Oh,
tell
no.
me about it.
I'm 6 drinking me.
Oh god. I guess I don't know. Are we going to keep drinking, or are we just going to progress the night?
Can't continue if I haven't started.
That's
Your
true,
wife
that's
whispers in your ear real quick. Hold on. I'm going to whisper. Talk
the
amongst
black.
yourselves.
true. Uh-oh.
Say, what is this drink? My
think-
parents never let me have anything like this before.
which parents?
Trying my best to ignore Ivania. I'll-
Clearly the
No,
ones
Moshi.
I grew up
Hey.
with, you dingus.
Did she just call me a dingus? Ale away from her.
I'll nudge Moshi. Zenori seems a little preoccupied right now. We could go check some of the stalls.
All right.
Ivana yells because she can't move from their seat. She's like, bring
Is
me
there-
back something nice.
Oh my god. Is there any non-alcoholic drink on the table?
There are pictures of. You know what? Roll investigation real quick. Let's check your sobriety level real quick.
That is a nat 20, by the way.
All right,
That was
so-
just a really stupid nat 20 for check. I can't believe I got a nat 20 for checking my sobriety. Well, technically that's a 24 for investigation.
So you see a couple of jugs of ales, a couple bottles of fine wine. You also see a jug or two of mixed fruit juice.
Hey, Soren, can you hand me that fruit juice?
I'll there's just one jug.
Yep, there's
Right,
one
okay.
jug and it's
I
like
will
10 people down.
I'm mage handing, picking up the jug, pouring some for Ivania, pouring some for Moshi,
No,
and pushing a
Pour it-
plate of bread to Ivania.
Yeah, I'm gonna pour some into my mug. Well, I'm gonna just whoop the ale in there and
There we go.
pour some juice in my ale mug, and I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Vanya, why don't you nurse this while we're gone? It's
Strong
even
stuff.
better. It's stronger than Johnny's ale."
What do you mean stronger? Evania has no concept of what alcohol is at this moment. So
It's
like, what?
tastier. Here, let me trade you. Here, I'll take that. You can have this one.
My hugs her mug's like, "Dude, but I like my drink too."
We'll try this one. It's different. Okay, bye.
Alright. Evania gets the other one and is like, "Okay, fine, I'll try yours."
All right.
And
Did you-
as she's nursing that, we will slip away from the table.
Put on the shadow cloak. Just kidding.
I'll throw on the cloak but I won't activate it. I won't,
Am I up top?
Yeah.
Am I
I'll let you
piggybacking?
Crawl on my back, yeah.
Sitting on your shoulders with the
There we go.
So,
Yes.
Zenori, are you joining
Yeah.
them or not?
No.
No,
He's got
no.
his wife to focus on.
Yeah. I hear
Cool.
my wife's whisper, and I'll look around the table and be like, "Me and my wife are going to take our leave.
Oh.
Have a good night."
Fade to black.
Fade to black.
Have a good night.
Even the crafter's like,
Moshi.
hey!
I'll give Sawn a wink.
Sword. The wink means goodbye too.
I think Ivania's in good hands. We can just leave her.
Oh yeah, she's good. She's got Bray Luke. I mean, you know.
Evania's like,
Perfect.
"Where's everybody going?" Hey!
Or there's
No.
says like,
Be
I got
right
her.
back."
Go have fun.
We've got a sorority girls in the party.
Lord, get me out of
That's too
here.
funny.
Oh boy.
All right, so Ivania is left in the Caribbean Sun, Jondi. No one knows where the druid is at this point. Probably running around people's feet, drunk too. And Zunori is heading off into
Predisposed.
the crowd with his wife, winking the whole way, and getting beat up the whole way. Then Darren's like, yes! Like, he's not gonna let you live this down.
Oh god.
But Sorn and Moshi, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I've got the cloak on. I've got Moshi on my back, right? Okay,
Correct.
I'm gonna reach back and cast Gloom on Moshi. So I'm assuming since she's covered, or since he's covered in the cloak and like behind me, it's already dim light, right? So Moshi is now full on dark. So I
mean, I'm
think-
also a black cat too. So.
but I also think that would help with stealth checks, maybe, or if you have to try
all right.
something. But I'll keep my focus on that. And well, I mean, I don't really have to. It's not a concentration spell, so I'll do that, and then I'll just cast detect magic and take a stroll around, see if there's any like interesting what's it called, stalls or little shops.
Meanwhile,
Just
I'm
with the
like,
standard base check magic.
What was that?
You know what? Roll for me. Let me see how much you pick up on.
Am I rolling something specific?
Perception.
Perception.
Can I help or no?
With advantage.
Advantage, okay.
Moshi is helping you through the gloom.
Good. Because
Totally sounds like a Night Watch reference, real quick.
my first one was a 4. That's a 16.
Okay. So, you are only 2 months old. It is hard for you to decipher what to pick out from such a large crowd, such a busy crowd. Especially many faces, many people, even species that you have not ever seen before. And so what you're seeing is there are numerous stalls that are lighting up with magical items. You're also getting, these wisps of the aether perception.
Mm-hmm.
And everything just kind of seems to be lighting up. Nothing specifically. And you even see some people themselves lighting up. Like, you look over your shoulder and you look back at Brayluke, and he is still like a freaking sun.
Of course. Okay. I will, like, as we're walking, I will point at items that are glowing for me. And Moshi can see out from behind, like, my neck, right?
I've got dark vision too, so I can see.
And Moshi, judging by what I assume your background is, I think you have an eye for things that are valuable. So I will trust your judgment. I'll just be pointing stuff out to you.
I can just see you going, that.
No, I'll nod my head towards things, and I'll be nonchalant.
Wow, Soren's nonchalant now.
Right? He's
like
it. He is learning.
I feel like I should roll
fast.
performance to make sure I don't fuck it up.
Yes, you do.
It's a 12. It's not terrible.
So, you are doing your best to act nonchalant. However, you're already drawing attention in yourself.
Just because I'm me. I see. Well, it's fine. I just don't want people to know what I'm doing. It's fine they're looking at me.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I mean, what does he see?
Well, it's more what do you see? I'm just pointing.
Yeah.
stuff
Oh, so I need to roll perception or something.
Yeah, go ahead and do that while I...
Could use the nat 20 now. God damn it! Oh,
Uh-oh.
it's a nat 1.
You jinxed yourself by saying nat 20 before rolling.
Oh, come on! Can I just be helpful once?
It is in this moment, Sorn, you realize Moshi puts on a great face because Moshi is drunk as shit.
What? I am not! I got a nat 20 on that sobriety.
I am not drunk.
I am not. No.
You're drunk.
Come on.
Okay.
You tested this out by pointing literally at nothing, and Moshi's like, ooh!
It looks like I'm on my own.
Wow, that looks awesome. Get that one.
Do I maybe see a market stall that is more popular than the other ones?
I really wanted to help.
A lot
Get
of
your chance.
people are dispersing at this point. With it being after the feast, now it's just more about spending time and enjoying the atmosphere. So the shoppers have really fizzled out. But there still are shoppers abundant. You do see one of the people that came into town have a cart that does have various magical bits and bubbles, and he does appear to be some sort of mage. He has magic to himself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will float.
That
over.
guy looks cool.
I will float over to the mage and I'll just inquire about his shop here, like what he sells.
Figuring that out. Oh wait, no, I already did him. Hold on, wait a
There
second.
we go.
I already had
Helping the
him
DM.
planned. So he already looks at you pretty funny, because he has a Nanya talking to him, and a very drunk set on top. Which is just like this moving shadow at this point, but he sees the shape of the ears and the.
That guy looks cool.
But you see, he has various potions, as well as it looks like wands and rings. He informs you he is a traveling mage. So he gets a little bit from everywhere.
Okay. Are there any of the rings that aren't glowing?
There are a couple, yes.
Is he saying that all of these things are magical? Like he's selling magical items, right? Like that's his thing. He's a traveling mage.
He is selling magical items, and he just kind of but as he's talking, he's not misrepresenting himself. He's like, I get goods from all over.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm just going to point out to him the two that aren't glowing. Like, hey, those two aren't magical. Just so you know.
And he's like,
What?
He's like, you are an interesting one. I already knew that. That's why they're marked 1/10 the price.
Ah!
Not magical? Liar.
Wow.
He's like,
Okay.
you are a strange one. What is what?
What do you mean? Have you not seen one of my kind before?
And he's like, I have seen plenty of your kind in my time, but never one like you.
It's 'cause he's cool.
What exactly does that mean?
He's cool.
No, I'm talking to the guy.
Yeah, I know.
He's cool.
He's like, and he's like, well, he's like, forgive me. I've clearly had a long day. My name is Jerzash. I am a traveling mage, and I know a handful of Nanyos, and some of them are very helpful, especially up at the Citadel. But none as eloquently adorned or attached to anything besides a wizard.
He's got me.
And Jerzash is like, I see that, honey. I am so happy for you.
I actually don't know why I don't have a wizard. I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Like, really? What do you remember?
Not much for the past, at least before the past
Soren, you
couple
sound
months.
funny. What happened to your voice?
And Jerzash is like,
Mercy.
That's more like it.
I'm sorry, my companion here is a little bit shwasted.
Yep. Just a little bit.
Do you happen to know Zigza?
and he's like,
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, not her.
I'll pat Moshi's head. It's okay.
just quick pet, emergency pets. He's like, yes, I know her.
I will reach into my bag and pull out the journal that I read and show it to him and say, I think she got this from you, and I bought it from her recently.
What?
Roll persuasion.
That's bad for me. Oh,
Oh,
17.
oh, that's good because I'm no help.
He quickly darts around, and he uses his own mage hand to have you push that book back in. He's like,
What?
yes, I did. She gave it to you?
I bought it from her.
He's like,
After we stole stuff.
Just-
Oh, sorry.
I need a
sorry.
stray bottle.
I mean, I'm just kidding.
Drusos is just ignoring
She-
Moshi at this point, and he's like,
Everyone does.
She mentioned it being interesting that she'd give it to me.
he's like, have you read it yet?
Parts. I don't think I finished it yet.
And he's like, okay, yes, I did give it to her. What do you want to know?
There was a description of where you found it, but could you maybe point me to exactly where?
He kind of ponders over it a bit.
Are you gonna steal stuff or not?
Just- we don't steal things. She's
Mm.
very drunk.
Hold
Or
on.
he's very drunk.
Okay.
You know, if I had a really bad let's
but
steal something
while-
for her.
I'm gonna really quick pull the book back out of my bag and mage hand with my free hand and just grab a couple rings. Just random, whatever
Whoa.
ones I managed to grab.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Roll a sleight of hand. But I'm
Can I help?
Let's see. Wait. No, I don't think I'll need help.
Okay.
That's 17.
Nice.
So Jerzash, when you did that, Jerzash was in the middle of rummaging and kind of turned away. So you did get away with.
I
Yeah.
pull my mage hand up the sleeve and I hand them to Moshi, or I put them in Moshi's bag. I'm not gonna give them to Moshi.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I just pat Soren's head. Yeah.
Dear Lord. Oh my goodness.
What?
So Jerzash comes back and he pulls out the map again, which I do not have on digital hand. So I will point it out to you later. But
No problem. Yeah, just whisper it to me or something.
Or actually, he vaguely... If you pull out the world map, let me know when you have it pulled up. If you are on the Discord server, there's a world map on the Discord.
Where
Under
do we have it
SOTS
again?
updates.
There we go.
Scroll to the top. Alright, so you know where we are currently located at in Orkney, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wait.
we're kind of like in that little
I do not see
thin-
this in updates.
What?
Oh wait, updates.
Yep, scroll to the top.
I see. Okay.
The
yes.
little blue smudge is essentially...
Yeah, is where we are.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you go up to the junction of the forest and the river. That around that junction is where Chenogawa is.
Mhm.
And then the forest does this indent. And kind of in that little indent on the other side of the peaks from the river is where he points.
Then okay, I'll make a mental note, and I think I'll be interested in going there when we start traveling.
Okay.
I will thank him, and I'll inquire how much or what kind of potions he has.
He's like, really quick. Just professional curiosity. Do potions even work on you?
Nah, probably not on me, but on my companions.
Wow, thanks.
He's like, she looks like she's had enough potions, but that's just my thought.
Although if they're magic in nature, I might be able to extract the essence of what the potion does.
He has a few healing potions, a couple of poisons, and a potion of speed. And he's like, and I did have a potion of water breathing, but I went ahead and replaced Sieg's stock.
Soren, what color is he? What color is he, Soren? What color?
Just don't mind him.
What color?
How much are the health potions and the poison?
The 2 health potions are 60 each.
60 gold?
Yep.
Okay.
Or
poison?
just between Zieg's and standard price.
We could sell him his rings back to him.
And then the poisons, he mentions, he's like, these knock people out. So if you need one, I'll give them to you at a discount. Particularly for your shoulder friend.
They not okay.
Oh.
How much are those?
He's like, I'll give them to you for the price of the healing potions. He's like, you kind of need one.
Well, if I just need one.
He's like, just one is 60.
I don't have that much on me.
It's okay. I'm too tired anyway.
Okay.
He's like, I'll be around for a while. He's like, I'm going to stick around for a couple of days. Ziggs and I have a lot to catch up on.
I think myself and my party will be leaving shortly, so we'll see if I can get back to you, and I'll wave and head back to the table.
Jerzash just kind of does a deep nod, a deep respectful nod, and then just kind of shakes his head as he looks at Moshi. Turns back to kind of putting his stuff back together.
As we're walking away, I'll mage hand again and pull the rings out of Moshi's bag and see which ones I got. And make sure I didn't get 2 unenchanted ones.
Hold on.
Should I roll luck?
Yes. Roll me the DC number.
DC number.
What is that?
Okay, wait, what's the DC then?
What is that?
What did you roll?
Oh, I haven't rolled yet.
Yep.
Do I add anything to this? Is it just a straight roll?
Straight roll.
Okay. 15.
You got one of the unenchanted rings.
Okay, and another one is it's glowing, correct?
Wait, how many did you take? 3?
2. I grabbed 2.
Okay.
You got the ring of animal influence.
I put it on and I tell Moshi to chill the fuck out. Do I just know what it is?
Does it really work on me? I mean, I'm not really. Am I an animal? Wait, like.
You are
Am I like.
technically, even humans are animals. Technically.
But
just because you're new to
Essential
how to
crisis.
use it, Soren, go ahead and roll animal handling with advantage.
Oh my gosh. Okay. 20. Not nat, but 18 plus 2.
That works. So, you're kind of soothing Moshi. Like, Moshi is just beyond drunk and like almost at the point of passing out and blacking out, but you just kind of pet Moshi's head and just like shh. And that seems to start lulling Moshi to sleep.
All right. I am going to walk to a cart as far away from Drazash as possible and sell the unenchanted ring. Or try to.
Okay, you're gonna make I'm gonna make you work for this one too, just like Moshi did. Okay. So, run through it. Roll investigation first to find a merchant.
13.
Okay, you go to a merchant on the far side, on the other
14.
side of the square, who maybe might be interested. Roll for persuasion.
13.
Okay, they're willing to buy it from you, but only for about 10 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I sell it to him for 10 gold. I'll add that to my thing. And I will walk back to the table, pull the ring off, hand it to Ivania. Or actually, I'm not going to give it to Ivania. I'm going to put it on Ivania's finger because I think Ivania will probably throw it.
Ivania, how are you currently doing in this moment?
Ivania does not process alcohol very well. Still quite drunk. Yeah, but the juice definitely helped. So
She's passed out.
Yeah, she's kind of passed out at this point.
I think you both are done. And Tsunari has been out of the equation.
I'll sit down. I'll sit down and I'll pat Moshi's head until he wakes up.
So you guys, returning to the table, you do see a lot of people have dispersed at this point, and there is still dancing going on, but from the table, it's really the crafter, and he's kind of turned around and is kind of joining and egging on the dancing. Mev and Zovanar are currently dancing, which is super sweet. But for the most part, it does seem like the energy is dying down and people are starting to kind of close up for the night. And Jondi and Siegza and the druid, who is also wasted, just kind of like flopped over on some flowers. They're enjoying themselves too, and Lotu, her daughter, is also on the verge of being wasted, and she kind of looks over at you, Soren, and she's like, oh, and she blushes, and
If Soren could blush, he would.
Just extra shadows.
His shadow flames like flare for a second.
So
And I will sit down, take off the cloak, get Moshi, and set him next to me. Get up, get up.
What?
Hopefully the nap sobered Moshi up a little bit.
What happened?
Hey, can you not talk about like us stealing stuff when you're stealing stuff?
Did we steal stuff?
Shh.
Did we steal? No. Oh.
Ivania, roll perception with disadvantage.
Oh, okay. First one's at 19. Second one's at 5, so let's see. 5.
You don't notice shit. Okay, never mind.
I got 12 in total with the second roll.
You saw Soren reach over to you, but you were in the middle of one of those just waves of trying to cling to consciousness. So you notice that Soren is kind of back in the general vicinity with Moshi, but you did not notice what Soren did.
Do I notice that I now have something else on
you
me?
Do not. You do
Oh,
not.
damn. Okay.
We will go about our business. I guess Zenori is passed out, or not, effectively.
Passed out.
Sorry.
You said people are starting to leave and everything.
Yeah, for the most part, it seems to be dying down a little bit. Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm the designated carrier of home. So
Thanks, man.
I will put Moshi back on my shoulders, and I will like try to pick up Ivania with one arm. Should I make like a athletics check?
Yeah, please do.
We're not that heavy.
13. 13 is my number today.
1 is mine.
So it's a little bit of a struggle. You accidentally drop Moshi, but no, she doesn't. No.
Just leave me here.
But you managed to pick them both up. Where? What next?
Just
I
go
will.
to my house. Take her too.
Okay, all right.
That's
we'll
probably a good
We'll
idea.
go to Moshi's house.
Just bring her to my house.
Yeah, I've got
Go.
to babysit for the rest of the night.
Yep, all
No,
right.
we'll be
So,
fine. Just
I'll,
turn into your rock.
I'll wave it at John D and say, "Thank you for today."
John D's like, it's a pleasure to have you around, as weird as you are.
Bye, Gandhi.
And
Thank
Lo
you for
Two
your
just
sweet
kinda-
bonds.
Right.
Wait, who is that?
Lotu, her daughter.
Oh. Wait, how old's her daughter? I haven't seen a daughter before.
You have seen her helping around the tavern
She's
and
been
stuff
helping.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a young but adult.
Okay.
She's legal.
Wait,
I'll
she
wave.
what? She what now? What did she do?
I'll wave it at Lotu too, and
She sees it and she's just like,
I'm like, I've got one over my shoulder and one under my arm.
Bye.
oh my goodness. All right. So I guess we will bring our session to a close. Soren, you head back to Moshi's with a very drunk Moshi and also very drunk Ivania. Zunori is turned in for the night with his lady, with his lovely lady. So it appears there's not going to be any leaving on a trip today. Let's just put it that way, especially since most of the day is already gone. But you do manage to wrangle them in all of their drunken stupor. Moshi, you lay on the bed. Ivania, you pull out a couple extra blankets you found on Moshi's shelf to kind of lay out on the floor.
Well, wait a second. I mean, I was living with Galthas for a while. I mean, aren't there like 2 beds?
You had slept on a makeshift bed on the floor.
Damn, I had the floor?
Now you're sleeping on a dead man's
Bruh.
bed.
My mentor, thank you. God bless you.
He had a very modest lifestyle. He don't have a whole lot. But he had you and his...
You know what? Ivania can take the bed since I've been living on the freaking floor forever. I'm just a cat. No, I'll just curl up next to the rock, you know.
I guess I'd be warm, right? Got my little flames, quote unquote, my shadow flames.
Whatever, I don't care.
Roll
can take the
Arcana
bed.
really quick, Soren.
Uh-oh.
I'll just curl up where I guess.
4.
So Moshi thinks in her drunken stupor, or in his drunken stupor, that he feels warmth and he tries to curl up near the worms and gets static electricity zapped.
Oh my god. Was that as weird for you as it was for me?
Moshi's too wasted to have that even. It just goes.
And I guess to end the night, I'll read a little bit. We don't, have to do that now, but
I
I'll
have-
read sitting next to everyone.
Assuming, okay,
I have
like,
one
I'm
entry
assuming,
for you.
I'm assuming there's a couch, so I'm on the couch. Okay, can I please just have a cushion? Please.
What were you saying,
Not a
Richelle?
cat at all.
I'm getting really angry over no cushions.
So you stayed up the previous night reading.
I should probably sleep, yeah.
But I got one chapter for you if you want it, or you can save it till next time.
It'll be a bedtime story.
Yeah, I guess we
Aw.
can finish the session with that then.
All right. So.
All right.
Oh goodness, where did I leave off?
Story time. I'm going dark.
Yes. So, pulling out the journal that was given by Ziegza to Soren, along with the book that he actually bought. The journal, he opens up the first page and refreshes his memory a little bit. That this is the journal of... Hold on. I can read. 1 second. Nillian. This is Nillian's journal from the Citadel just a few years after the Civil War. Alright. Sternadato, 46, Varmoon 12. A single white rose. That's all that entry says. Looking closer at the pages, you find the impression on the pages and some smudged ink of what could easily have been a single rose pressed between the pages at some point. You do also find a little bit of plant matter, but there is no rose. Sternadato, 46, Varmoon 12, or 47, excuse me. Well, my journal... Oh, wait, that is the same day. It's this afternoon. Apologies! Well, my journal reading friend, it appears we are going on a journey after all. A full night's rest would be nice before we leave. It was in the early hours within the Citadel that we received visitors via portal. Jundaris, a big-shot warmonger from the king's high ranks, and Hemor. Oh, my highest, if this happened under any other circumstances, I would be so honored by Hemor's presence. Hemor is Turagoa's right hand, his illuminator. By their hands, the Hall of Memory was even conceived and built. But I digress. Circumstances would not allow for such elation. Sybil and I never slept a wink. The signal rings so tight in my hand, I felt like I was bleeding. Out of persistent exhaustion, Lanessa eventually fell asleep. Her nightmares continued. Now this was the part that confused me and terrified me all the same. She was startled awake, afeared, and then relief and anticipation. And then the ring fell silent. Upon running to find out what may have happened, with the halls completely empty, everyone, it seemed, but me and Sybil were asleep. The Grandmaster was waiting next to the portal room. And that's when the portal opened and our two esteemed guests walked out. Sybil stayed in the shadows, but I decided to join the Grandmaster in greeting them. Naturally, this was out of line. But Hemor gracefully returned my greetings and added that when this ordeal was over, perhaps he and I would discuss more advanced memory studies. This pacified the Grandmaster. But the fear in me must have been palpable. While Judaris and the Grandmaster turned to immediately start their business, Hemor turned to me with a peculiar silent compassion. I questioned how he knew, if he even knew, or what he could see. But it was a strange instance. Reaching the cell, it took all of my willpower not to push past the Grandmaster and the Yard General. The Grandmaster let out the oddest squeal of disbelief, and a thump, followed by scattering of rocks. My heart stopped. They're in Lanessa's room. But the signal ring softly resonated. Hemor gently chimed. It would appear, gently. It seems like you are out of work for the day, General. The two fumed and stormed out and over to the Grandmaster's office. I ran inside, and where I last saw Lanessa resigned on the rock floor were bits of wall tiles. Jundaris must have hit it. And in her place lay a single white rose. Hemor picked it up and delicately handed it to me. Come, young one. Let us follow our raging beasts and gently guide them before they act too rashly. And I continue to follow him into the Grandmaster's chamber. And that is where we will stop for the night. With that being said, it was great to have everyone. It was a fantastic session, albeit a little bit short. Apologies. Super busy. But with that being said, as always, stay safe, stay nerdy, and we will see you guys in the next one. Same time next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.